A speech on adoption from Africa, and I found a very interesting quote that I thought I'd start off with. The bond that links your true family is not the one of blood, but of respect and joy in each other's life. And 3 countries, about 1 in 5 children were orphanage in 2010, and more than 80% of whom have lost one or both parents due to AIDS in Africa. This is a good reason why we should try to help people out that are living in Africa and don't have parents, because it'd be nice to have them. In 2004, American families adopted about 23,000 children from around the world. By 2010, that figure had more than half to 11,000, according to the U.S. State Department. Ethiopia last year remained the second most popular country for international adoptions to the U.S. after China, with 2,511. There's many different types of adoption that you could have in countries. Some are closed adoption. This type of adoption limits the birth parents' rights and control over their biological child. There are no control over the child's adoptive placement or whereabouts. Equally, the parents adopting the child know little about the child's history. And open adoption, in this type of adoption, the birth parents have more rights as they specifically the type of family they would prefer for the placement of the child. The birth and adoptive parents will meet and have a long-developed relationship. In semi-open adoption, this is, as it states, a combination between a closed and an open adoption. Both parents will have rights over where the child is placed and will maintain some level of contact, usually letters and photos, but via the adoption agency. This discretion of the adoption parents, however, takes place. According to the UNICEF's report, Africa Orphanage Generation, even without HIV and AIDS, the percentage of children who are orphaned will be significantly higher in sub-Saharan Africa than in other regions of the world. Because of the HIV/AIDS, the number of orphans is now increased exponentially rather than declining. The report shows that many of the most recent severe affected countries in sub-Saharan Africa have national policies that address the needs for orphan children, including children orphanaged and vulnerable by HIV and AIDS. The ongoing failure to respond to the orphanage crisis will have grave implications not just for children themselves, but their communities as well. Schooling is often interrupted, and many children are forced to drop out due to the HIV and AIDS and care for the sick parents who need money. Depression and alienation are common survival strategies such as eating less and selling assets, and the vulnerability of the household. Children whose parents have already died are disadvantaged in numerous and often devastating ways. In addition to the trauma of witnessing the sickness and death, they are likely to be poorer and less healthy than non-orphans. They are more likely to suffer damage to the cognitive and emotional development and have less access to education, and to be subject to the worst forms of child labor. And also, there's some bad reasons, or reasons that you wouldn't want to adopt from Africa, is it does take a long time, usually 8 to 12 months, for an adoption to be complete, and it also can be costly. It can go up to $20,000. And other than that, there's many reasons to adopt. If you're not able to have children, you're helping other children out by adopting and allowing them to have a loving family. And it's just a great reason to adopt.